Hello and welcome to 5 Minutes With by Climate Week NYC, bringing you a series of bite-sized interviews with some of the key people, organizations and businesses ahead of Climate Week NYC this September. Today, we are talking with Palmetto. Palmetto is a clean energy marketplace with proprietary technology designed to make it easier and more affordable for homeowners to source their energy from renewables like solar power. The company develops proprietary software and data products that reduce costs and drive widespread distribution of simple energy management solutions through a fully distributed network of teammates throughout the United States. They operate in 23 of the 28 US solar states and will soon be in all. The company aims to connect with over 2 million in the next year and to help customers better understand and optimize energy consumption, which sounds like interesting stuff. So I'm delighted to be joined by Palmetto CEO and founder, Chris Kemper. Chris, thank you for joining us today.
Yeah, wonderful. Thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
I have a fair few questions to try and push through in these 5 minutes I have with you written on my card right now. So I am going to start the clock and jump straight into question number one, which is, why did you start the company? What were you trying to achieve? What's the story?
Yeah, I started the company in early 2010. And frankly, the company was started out of the sense of urgency to do more, specifically on the climate change front. At that time, I was part of a financial firm, and previous to that, I was part of a NGO, United Nations. And I felt that, listen, maybe I can do more in my personal capacity by taking more initiative. So what better way to do that than to go out on your own and start your own company, right?
Absolutely.
In those days, oh, sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead, carry on.
Oh yeah, I was going to say in those days, basically the mission as we started was to lead the world towards a clean energy future. And that was the objective. And it's really interesting that 12, 13 years later, that we've stuck with that same mission and are executing on that day to day.
You touched on there, your sort of past life, your past career in sort of finance and NGO. Where did climate change and climate action and climate tech platforms, where did that come along? How did you get involved in this?
I think it came, the industry in clean technology has grown very, very quickly, specifically in the private sector, and certainly over the course of my career. So I think that it's really been the ability, or it's come along, I guess, and kind of like an upward stumble, I guess you could say in a lot of ways. You just iterate and iterate and iterate and learn how you can effectively deploy clean technology, which is what we do at Palmetto, and what are the smarter ways to do it. And eventually we landed on a platform model about 4 years ago. And we found a lot of success based on all metrics in our company with that particular model. And so up until that point in time, we were a traditional vertically integrated company that you might be more familiar with in the residential solar space. And we had made like a very difficult and hard transition to a platform model, but we worked out the kinks and are finding success ever since. And a lot of it is just kind of you say you're standing, on the shoulders of giants, which is true. There had been a lot of learnings that took place over the past decade and a half to arrive where we are in the platform model. This model would not have worked 10 years ago. Just the skill, the talent, the technology, the hardware technology, the cost of capital, all of those things were not in place. But the time has changed. And for us, we believe that time is now.
Interesting. You say there that the model wouldn't have worked 10 years ago. I'm thinking with the IPCC report coming out early in the year, it's COP26. A lot of people are talking about what's the 2030 plan, what's the 2050 plan. With so much change taking place, where do you see Palmetto 2030 and 2050?
Yeah, first off, on that particular report, I think you can look at that and take kind of a half as glass empty or half full approach. And I think, we have to look at it as opportunity. That's the only way through, in my opinion. When it comes to climate change, you have, kind of macro categories: land use, transportation, energy efficiency and production. You have and energy. Palmetto is focused on the energy segment specifically. And so of the pillars out there, that's the one that we've selected to focus on. How we have focused on it is we use the love language of savings to consumers, households, homeowners. We help them understand, hey, with this, XYZ clean technology products such as solar or storage or IoT devices, you can understand where your money's going and you can save. And we provide them with real transparency around that, meaning real-time data, visualizations, and turnkey service support. Now, that said, how we have to scale this over 2030, 2050 is we're in the business of becoming the world's largest utility. So the way we look at the world is every customer that we acquire that joins our platform that has decided intentionally to, one, save money, but a lot of them, maybe climate change mitigation is kind of an afterthought, or maybe it's a secondary benefit. There are very few early adopters where that's like the primary reason. But to get to the masses, to make the real change in accordance with that report, I think we need to go big. And for us, trying to shoot the moon on this specifically is becoming the largest utility, transitioning consumers off a fossil fuel-based grid, and then enlightening them, educating them on where their money really goes and how they can help share that wealth of knowledge with others.
I really like what you say there about, ambition to sort of be the biggest in the world, and ambition is certainly what we need a lot of in this game to make a difference. I'm gonna just squeeze in a last question very quickly, because I'd love to know what your answer is. Our slogan at Climate Week NYC this year is "Getting It Done." I'd love to know, what does getting it done mean to you?
Getting it done, it's very consistent in result wise with our culture. We're heavily focused on, hey, did we move the needle day by day? We, by example, have stand-ups in our company where we talk about, here's what performance was like yesterday, here's what today's improvements need to be to continue to up the game. So getting it done for me is each and every consumer that we bring on our platform understands the benefit of clean technology, has an excellent, service experience with us, which has led us to a very high net promoter score, industry leading at that. And, with that, they're a huge advocate for clean tech and then, creating awareness. So getting it done literally is each customer one at a time.
Brilliant. Oh, I'm glad we allowed ourselves to go over a little bit there. I'm really grateful for hearing that. Chris, it's been really interesting to hear your answers, and I certainly want to hear more about energy, which is a great thing, because Palmetto is the sponsor of the energy program, bringing together dozens of events relating to energy across Climate Week NYC. And you can find details about those events, as well as all 10 programs make up the official Climate Week NYC program, on our website and via the link below. But all that leaves me to say is, Chris, thank you so much for joining us today. It's been really great hearing about what you're doing and the journey that you're on and what got you there. And I'm looking forward to seeing you at Climate Week NYC.
Wonderful. Thanks, Adam. Appreciate it.